The natural horizon provides a good indication for setting the degree of bank angle. The pilot uses the Trim tab for adjusting the command forces. The manual should contain checklists for assembling and pre-flighting a glider. The Soaring Safety Foundation, SSF, have developed a checklist for preparing a glider before flight. Once the loading is completed, take a short drive, stop, and check for rubbing or chafing of components. On metal gliders, a low-pressure hose and mild detergent is used for cleaning. This control position should be maintained until the ailerons become effective for maneuvering the glider. Keep the lever at medium position for climbing. Pull the lever for releasing the tow line. The self-launching glider is equipped with cowl flaps for cooling.
In order to attain the maximum height, fly shorter patterns. The bank angle may justify a low speed in order to properly remain in the best lift. Gliders are designed to be slightly nose-heavy in order to improve their longitudinal stability. During landing in gusty conditions, it is important to increase the approach airspeed by half of the gust spread value in order to maintain a wide margin above stall. In order to ensure correct and safe procedures for assembly of a glider, students and pilots unfamiliar with glider assembly should seek instruction from a knowledgeable glider flight instructor. The wings of the glider can be folded in order to conveniently store the glider. Pilots must develop an awareness of the particular glider flight characteristics in order to recognize and avoid stalls. The pilot must be aware of changes in the flying conditions in order to be successful in conducting cross-country flights. In order to stay in the same flight path of the tow plane, the glider pilot must aim the nose of the glider at the outside wingtip of the tow plane. A glider must be stalled in order to enter a spin.
Airport noise modeling and aircraft scheduling so as to minimize community annoyance. The system will command the operation of pumps and valves so as to optimize fuel consumption throughout the flight. The pressure ratio for the two compression stages, compressors, must be the same so as to minimize the work input. So as to equilibrate the aircraft, to mitigate or counter the effects of possible breakdowns. So as to carry out specific commands required by the cockpit. The runway must be completely clear so as not to interfere with the daily operations. It is good pilot practice to review existing approach and departure procedures so as to always follow safe established procedures. A process of verification was implemented so as to protect the airspace through which aircraft fly. No person may operate an aircraft in a careless or reckless manner so as to endanger the life or property of another. Increase power slightly so as not to lose altitude.
The mast should be set up so that it is ready for use in a few seconds. Each foot must rest comfortably on the rudder pedals so that even slight pressure changes can be felt. Nose-up elevator trim should be used so that the pitch attitude can be maintained without the pilot holding back elevator pressure. Stall recovery should be second nature, so that if the signs of an imminent stall appear while thermaling, recovery is instinctive. Adjust speed so that the glider remains in the strong lift. For example, jacks, ramps, wing stands, and ground dollies must be secured so that these items do not damage the glider. If a canopy cover is used, secure it so that the canopy cover does not scuff or scratch the canopy in windy conditions. During climb, a wind correction angle should be established so that the self-launching glider tracks the extended centerline of the takeoff runway. The glider is designed so that it stalls before the limit load factor can be exceeded. As the glider nears the desired attitude, center the appropriate flight control so that overshooting does not occur.